Hello everyone. So today I'll be giving you a quick tour of Xcode 15. So if you are starting off iOS development in 2024, this tutorial is for you. So let's get started. If you are still confused that you want to take iOS development as your coding technology or platform, then this video is for you. And if you're sure that you want to pursue iOS development, but what are the important things that you need to explore before starting off with iOS development, this video is for you. You can check out both of these videos on my channel. So here I have launched Xcode. How you are going to install it, it is discussed in the previous video that I have just mentioned. Here are the different type of apps and different type of basically projects you can do with Xcode. So here you can on the top select the platform. So I am selecting here iOS, and you can basically create a framework, static library, document app, game, augmented reality app, etc. So I have selected here the default, which is an app or application. You can enter the product name. After there is a team. If you have no team at the moment, you can simply select none. You can add here an organization identifier. If you want to change it, I am going to keep it as default. Then you are going to select your interface. I am going to select here Swift UI. You can also select storyboard, which means that you are opting for UI kit. Then there are languages. If you are going to select storyboard, two languages are going to open up, Swift or Objective-C. But for the case of Swift UI, only Swift is available. Then storage has multiple options for Swift UI. But for storyboard, there is only going to be one option, which is core data. So you are going to select these default options that I am setting here. Just copy all of these things from this tutorial. So we have clicked OK. So here you can select the place where you want to store your project. I have created a separate folder of development where I'll be storing all of my projects. And then you can basically check mark to create a Git repository for your project. So this already exists. I'm going to replace it. If you do not want to replace your project, you can basically rename it and press cancel for this dialog box. Here I'm maximizing it. So these is basically my workspace on the left hand side that I'm showing you. This is basically all the projects files are listed here. Then you can click on the project. These are the different files that are part of this project. So this is my main file that has contained at the rate of main macro. This is the point from where my application running will start. I have basically right clicked it and went to content view. Content view is basically the file that is our main view in Swift UI. In Swift UI, everything is a view. So this struct content view is going to extend view. On the top, you can see here that you can select different branches and workflows. This is for the source control. So if you want to create multiple branches or you want to change branch, you can use this top bar. And then this is the place where you can select basically the type of simulator that you want to play your code with, or you can basically select your actual device. So on the right hand side, we can basically check or uncheck the canvas, which is our preview on the right hand side. This gives you basically the code output in real time. Then there are other windows as well, like Assistant. Assistant is going to give you little bit of help with your code, and it is going to show you some of the examples how content view is basically implemented inside your libraries. So how you are going to extend it, which of the iOS versions it is being supported for. You are going to check it using Assistant. Then I am basically moving back to my canvas. In this way, you can basically drag and drop and increase or decrease the size of your coding pane as well as the preview. Now we are moving towards the bottom side. This is how you are going to apply the breakpoints, and on the right hand side in the bottom is basically you can see the value of the debugger variables, local variables, and all that. On the right hand side is the console, which is going to show you the output. So if you print something, that is displayed on the bottom right pane that I have just shown you. So next I am going to show you another window on the right hand side. This pane is basically going to show you the properties of each of the view object that you have used. For example, I've used here image. So if you are going to click it and then you are going to move on the right hand side, you are going to see the details, how you are going to use it, and even in some cases, the example of it being used. So this is showing you how you are going to use the struct image, and all of the details you can read from here. Then there are different tabs. This is basically used to configure the properties of image. So you can apply padding, you can apply insets, you can apply a frame as well, and you can apply a foreground style and an image scale. Then there are options of color, render mode, and aspect ratio as well. So you can explore all of these options for any of the view object that you are using inside your code to build your content view. So here I'm applying the padding and then showing you how you are going to check and uncheck the values and how it's going to basically reflect it on the left hand side inside the code. So since I've applied padding, I've check marked all of the boxes. It has added the padding as dot all. So these are the rest of the values. So here it is showing you how you are going to use the foreground style. So next there is another option that is going to let you search about all of the objects that you can add inside your view. So here I'm adding the button, exploring the button. Let's add the button here. There are the different type of buttons, what each type of the button does and how you can use it. You are going to see the examples here. So it is showing you that button is going to contain a label, and then this is the basically a default syntax of how to use the button. I'm going to remove the dot, and in the action you are going to write something, that the action that you want to perform on this button click. The button title is going to be button, which is basically encapsulated in double quotes. So I'm adding here a text with the name of button press, but it is giving me a warning, which means that this text is not going to be a part of this view. So either we need to pass it to a constant or variable and add that constant or variable inside the vstack. Vstack is basically a way of aligning all of the objects vertically. So here I'm creating a variable. At the rate of state, it allows us to basically change its value. Private is local to this view. var is basically for the variable, is button clicked is the name of the variable, and I have set it to false, and on button click I'm setting it to true. So if the button clicked is true, then the text is made to be a part of the vstack. Otherwise, it is not going to be a part of the vstack. So you are going to see the output on the right hand side, how the view is going to look like. So here I am zooming in and out of the preview. So you can use the magnifier plus to zoom in, magnifier minus to zoom out. Here there are different options how you are going to see the view. So here I'm enabling the dark view. So you are going to look at how your view is going to be look like when dark mode is enabled inside an iOS device. So it looks fine. In some cases, we need to adjust the colors of the foreground and background according to the dark mode settings. So then there is orientation and dynamic type. Orientation is basically landscape, portrait, how you want to basically look at. And in this way, you can basically display both of these options. So here I have added the color schemes, color variants. And these are basically the size variants. You can select each option and see how view is going to look like for each of the different sizes and color schemes. So now I am moving back to light appearance. This is how it's going to look like for our normal view for light appearance. So on the left hand side, we are going to explore the search pane. We are going to enter here a string, and if the top bar is showing find text containing, it is going to display the file that contain that specific string. So hello world is basically located inside a file, and then on which line you can simply click it. On the bottom, you can write the name of any file and it is going to list all of the files that contain that word. On the plus, you can basically add files to your project. In this way, you can also add a new file to this project by clicking on new file. You can also add a new group. You can also sort the files by name and type. So next we are going to move on the top bar. So on file, you can create new files, open previous files, close files, save files, export files, all of these options. In edit, there are different type of options to edit the file. In view, there are different navigators, debug area, inspectors, show library. You are going to basically view the different type of windows and values and function definitions. In find, you can find different type of strings inside your code or files. In editor, you can basically check all of the values that are present on the right hand side on the lines that I have shown you previously. Canvas assistant can be accessed. In product, you can basically build the file, build an IPA and share it with on App Store as well as on the device. Run the code, debug the code. In debug, there are different options like step over step and all of these things. In Navi integrate, you are going to basically do the commit, push, pull, all of these things. So here I'm going to show you how you can basically commit your code. It is already committed with an initial commit. So here, since there are changes made, I'm going to show you how you are going to commit the code. So I am amending an previously done commit, and then I'm going to press the amend, and the work is done. I cannot push the code because there is no remote repository for this code. If I have that, I can push the code as well. So this is for integration. And next there are window, which is going to show you different downloads, and organizer is basically the place from where you can distribute the IPA and build the IPA. So when you play the code, you can simply press the play button and it is going to play the code inside simulator. And it is going to show you an output inside your simulator. So this is the simulator. It is showing on the top the name as iPhone 15 Pro, which is the simulator that we have selected the code. So here I have placed a breakpoint so you can check. Basically press this to step over, move step by step. And here you can see that is button clicked is set as false. So it is showing you the value of the local variables. So when I'm going to click the button, it is again going to hit the breakpoint, and here it is going to show you the value as true. So this is how debugging works. I can also comment out the preview and the canvas will be gone. So this code is controlling the canvas or the preview on the right hand side. This button, square button, is going to stop the debugging and playing of the code. So this is all. I hope you have learned something from it. Do not forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. You can also simply play the code by selecting an actual device from the drop down by connecting it with a wire with your laptop and selecting the required signing properties inside your code. I'm going to attach the link of a video here which is going to help you with that. So this is all.